Go ahead. The powers of the Seven.
Do you know, this Ark's place doesn't look...
Well, well. We made it to the big smoke. Everybody in life. I'm tired of doing what others want me to do. I'm choosing to go a different way now. I've made mistakes, and compounded them. But now there's a chance to make amends. And I intend to seize it.
Ifan claps you on the shoulder and beams at you. Affection...
Venture no farther. Only death lies beyond. Blood need not be spilled. Bones need not be broken. Preserve thyself and flee. To cross this threshold is to plunge into thy grave. Do not decide. Very well. Embrace thy fate.
Noxious atmosphere enabler. Noxious atmosphere enabled.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's gotta be a way to make them stop.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop. Another one? How many more could there be?
Concoction generator. Hazardous concoction vessels generated. Moving to involuntary death assistant.
Oh, they just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's gotta be a way to make them stop.
was the right lever.
Oh, another one. How many more could there be? I don't think that was the right lever. Lucky find. I don't think that was the right lever. What the hell's just happened? Pulling a lever invites magical translocation.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to reinforcement. Moving to moving to hazardous concoction generator. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
There's no end to them.
Oh, another one. How many more could there be?
Moving to RFS manipulator. RFS manipulator activated.
I don't think that was the right lever. I don't think that was the right lever.
Another one. How many more could there be?
Moving to RFS manipulator.
Another one? How many more could there be? This lever works. I felt something shift behind it.
damage opportunities.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's gotta be a way to make them stop. I don't think that was the right lever. What the hell's just happened? Ah, pulling a lever invites magical translocation.
Another one? How many more could there be?
There's no end to them.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Moving to orifice manipulator.
There's no end to them. I think that was the right lever. I think that was the right lever.
Moving to orifice manipulator. Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Moving to reinforcement deployer. Moving to involuntary death assistant. Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Moving to orifice manipulator. Moving to involuntary death assistant. Moving to reinforcement deployment. Moving to Arcus manipulator. Arcus manipulator. Already activated. Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Hazardous concoction vessels generated. Moving to Arcus manipulator. Moving to a rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to corporeal transposition engine.
What the hell's just happened? Ah, pulling a lever invites magical...
Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
Right where I want you.
Hazardous concoction vessel. Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler. Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to corporeal transposition engine.
What the hell's just happened? Ah, pulling a lever invites magical translocution. I don't think that was the right lever. I don't think that was the right lever.
Moving to reinforcement.
I need aid. I don't think that was the right lever.
Moving to Arcus manipulator. Concoction vessel generated. Moving to involuntary death assistance. Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to corporeal transposition. Origin corporeal activation imminent. Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Moving to number. Moving to involuntary death assistant. Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Moving to orifice manipulator. Combat in progress. Damage opportunities. Combat in progress. Seeking damage. Combat in progress. Seeking combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities. Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler. Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler. Death assistant.
Careful, I'll spot a trap. I see a trap nearby.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine.
What the hell's just happened? Ah! Pulling a lever invites magical translocation. Lever.
Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler.
Works. I felt something shift behind it.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine.
I don't think that was the right lever.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor.
I don't think that was the right lever. What the hell's just happened? Pulling a lever invites magical translocation. I don't think that was the right lever.
Moving to involuntary deficit.
I don't think that was the right lever.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine.
invites magical translocation. I don't think that was the right lever.
Glory is mine!
I don't think that was the right lever.
Moving to reinforcement deployer. Moving to corporeal transposition.
What's just happened?
Imminent.
Pulling a lever invites magical.
Corporeal transposition.
What the hell's just happened? Pulling a lever invites magical translocation. I don't think that was the right lever. That lever did something. I could feel it.
Moving to noxious atmosphere.
Another one? How many more could there be? don't think that was the right lever.
I don't think that was the right lever. I don't think that was the right lever.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to orifice manipulator. Moving to hazardous contact.
What's just happened? Ah, pulling a lever invites magical translocation.
I don't think that was the right lever.
Oriel transposition imminent.
I don't think that was the right lever. I don't think that was the right lever. I don't think that was the right lever.
Transposition imminent. Combat in progress. Damage opportunity. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunity.
There's got to be a way to make them stop. I'll yield to none.
I don't think that was the right lever. I don't think that was the right lever.
Look out for now.
I see a trap
nearby. That's a trap.
Oh, noxious atmosphere in here. Noxious atmosphere enabled.
This lever works. I felt something shift behind it.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
I heard gears moving.
Moving to obvious manipulator. Moving to orifice manipulator. Orifice.
good find. Another one? How many more could there be?
Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Moving to reinforcement deploy. Oh, reinforcements. Moving to Doctor's atmosphere enabler. Doctor's atmosphere enabled.
Another one? How many more could there be?
There's no end to them. They just keep coming. Feels like that lever did something.
Moving to orifice manipulator. Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler. Moving to orifice manipulator. Orifice manipulator activated. Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler.
right lever.
Moving to noxious atmosphere in it. Noxious atmosphere.
I don't think that was the right lever. I don't think that was the right lever. I don't think that was the right lever. What just happened? Ah, pulling a lever invites magical translocation.
You have the trust of Lord R.
Lucian's blessings to you. Ah, the path of blood is the path of blood ends in death. For though it was Lord R who spends most of his time tinkering with toys nowadays, she must have believed she could pass safely. The poor deluded. It is said that if you... The signs suggest that if we... Greetings. Or do you wish Lucian's day wouldn't be the same without the faithful gathering to petition for his... The path of blood ends in the sign suggests that if we pray hard enough, Lucian will return to save us. Every year we gather to offer our prayers in his name. It was Lord Ahu's creation. Spends most of his time tinkering with toys nowadays. So she must have been. It is said that if you...
I pledge my heart, O Lucian. Please return.
Please return.
What's this? I found something.
I pledge my heart, O Lucian. Please return.
Ho, pilgrim.
May Lucian return.
Good luck on the path.
Seems unlikely.
Greetings. Have you come to join us, or do you wish to? Lucian's day wouldn't be the same without the faithful gathering to petition for his return. The more... the path of blood ends in death for those who attempt it. Consider yourself... It was Lord Ahu's spends most of his time... The sign suggests that...
I pledge my soul, O Lucian. Please return.
Lucian's blessings to you. Lucian... Lucian's blessings to...
Eyes sharp, Paladin. The Grandmaster's chain. I'm on protection duty. I can't talk to you. Lord Ahu of between the chaos.
They got damaged.
You're confident. I'll give you that.
Show that you deserve it.
Pledge my soul, oh Lucy.
I pledge my life.
I pledge my soul.
Please return.
Ho, Pilgrim!
May Lucian return.
The prayer seems...
May Lucian...
May he return indeed.
I pledge my soul, oh Lucian. Please return.
Greetings. Have you come to or do you wish Lucian's day wouldn't be the same? The path of blood ends in death for those who attempt it. It was Lord Ahu's creation. Spends most of the signs suggest that...
I pledge my heart, O Lucian. Please return.
I pledge
Me first. Take my
She seems so confident.
Greetings. Or do you... Lucian's day wouldn't be the same without the faithful gathering to petition. She must have believed she could pass. It is said that if you successfully pass the path of blood, you will become the next divine. Enough incentive for some to risk. Lucian's blessings to you. It was Lord spends most of his time tinkering. The path of blood.
Eyes sharp, Paladin. The Grandmaster's chamber must be protected.
God-woken, you return. Many obstacles lie. It is a room of many levers. 5 will lead you closer to your goal. Each lever is named for a virtue of the divine. Find the levers whose initials spell the word power. Select these 5 and these alone.
Careful, I spotted a trap.
Moving to orifice manipulator.
This lever works. I felt something shift behind it. Looks like that last lever did something.
Moving to the moon. Avoiding transposition imminent. Moving to orbit. Activating to orifice manipulator. Orifice manipulator activated.
Nice.
Moving to involuntary death assistant.
Something happened, I think.
Moving to involuntary death assistant. Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop. What's happening? That must have been the last lever.
Must be getting closer to Lucien's crypt.
You reach for your weapon, but as the small Voidwoken skitters forward, it looks at Fane, clicking and chittering in excitement, and introduces itself. Fane starts in shock. The Voidwoken was a colleague from Fane's days at the Academy, his assistant. It claims it knows. It promises Fane that if he can snatch the powers of the Seven, then he can restore his people. Not under the rule of the God King or the Void, they would finally be free. Fane turns away, pensive and quiet. Even as a skull, you can see the...
Do you know, this Ark's place doesn't look half bad. Important does not do it justice. She tells me there is a way to save the power of divinity could bring them back. Not as monsters, but I could have my old life again. On the surface, yes. But what does that mean for... The Eternals cannot be eternal without the source your god stole from them. No, if they return, they will reclaim their source. The source that was used to create you. If the Eternals come home to this world, we will live in it as your masters. You will be our slaves at best, our food at worst. I'm not sure. I need to think about this. It's just... they're my people. Although... well, so are you. I'm sorry. I can't talk about this right now.
Truth hangs heavy upon the air itself, unspoken. This is the point of no return. Somewhere beyond this point, you shall be undone, or you shall ascend. There is no middle ground. truth.
You come here often. I don't know what you did, but you just released a source flood. I thought I'd come and see what all the fuss was about. Should have known you were getting yourself into trouble. Looks like the big moment has finally arrived. I will do everything I can to support you, Godwoken. I will pray for you. I think you'll need it. Don't underestimate the power of true prayer. This is a place of incredible power where a single prayer holds the weight of thousands. Your heart and soul will fill as quickly as they're drained. Consider it a taste of your divine future. The people will pray for you. In turn, they'll trust you to do right by them, as I'm trusting you to do now. Of course, it's up to you whether or not to listen. I know how I'd respond.
Malady wearily chuckles to herself, then bows her head in a show of unexpected, but...
Looks like my investment's paid off.
I need worship, only one divine. And I believe he stands before me now.
You've shown me kindness in the face of my sins. My worship is the least I can offer.
I've always preferred to be the one reaping the attention. But you've turned the tables. I suppose it's only right, seeing as how a new divinity may...
Now go. Rivellon needs a new divine.
Well, my goodness. Here we are, Quercus. This is it. What do you mean, Quercus? Of course I'm prepared. I have my noble steed below me, and my trusted shield beside me.
His whiskers crack into a...
And I may have cracked the spell that will stop the great acorn in its furious tracks.
Sir Laura turns to you.
I owe you an apology, Shield. At the start of our journey, I wouldn't have believed a human would lead me to the discovery. But I see now that my prejudice was foolish. Without you, Quercus and I might still be stuck on that abominable prison island. Now, here I am. Here we are, on the brink of saving the world. Indeed, Quercus and I will find an advantageous location and do just that. Meanwhile, you must prevent the servants of the Acorn from interrupting.
Sir Laura takes a slow, deep breath and lets...
You feel it, don't you? It's so still. But there's something behind it, too, like a thunderclap waiting to fall. The great Acorn is nearly here. Its servants are poised for impact. We've known this moment would come. Now it is time to put my research to the... I am ready. Quercus is ready. And you, Shield?
Sir Laura nods in return and grabs your pinky with his tiny paw. He gives it a decisive shake. Then...
No matter what happens next, Shield, there's something Quercus and I want. It has been an honor. Now, onward!
Godwoken. Dallas told me about you. You must be as hard as diamonds, and twice as bright. Your divine welcomes you.
The divine you thought dead lords over the chamber from a granite throne. He moves to speak, but it's Riedeman's voice that next pierces the air.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at Friedemann, then bestows a benevolent smile upon you. All that you know of him flashes across the panorama of your—
Lucian! You lying snake! You betrayed me! You used me to bring death to my own— And for what? To make the world a better place? Look around—
Ifan, my friend, there were many sacrifices that had to be made. You were but one. Each of them pained me, but I would make them all again.
Lucian, we should tell him the truth.
Yes, I agree. It is time we dropped our masks.
Dallas nods, then reaches for the sides of her head. Where there was one face, suddenly there are four. She takes off the mask of the shapeshifter. A skull is revealed, bejeweled and ancient as the void.
I am eternal.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
Fear not, Godwoken. Dallas is on the side of all that is good. She is helping me rid Rivellon of the influence of the Source.
I shall tell you the tale as I told it to Lucian. Long ago, the scholar Fane discovered that the veil between the world and the void was made of Source. Our 7 lords desired this power.
Of course.
Silence, slave. Our king forbade the 7 to reach for this power, but they didn't listen. Instead, they rebelled and sent the king and his people into the void.
With the Source they stole from the Veil. The 7 created the races so they would have worshippers.
During their lives, worshippers collect Source. When they die, the gods feed from them. It's an ingenious system.
Our souls are nothing but vats for the Source-hungry gods.
The 7 made a mistake. By taking its source, they tore a hole in the veil, and it is through this hole that the void finds its way into our world.
The 7's lust for power let in the void. Our goal is to close the hole they created, to restore the Source to the veil. When we are done, there shall be no more Source in the world. Rivellon will be finally free from the gods that enslave them.
My people cannot be allowed to return from the void. They are tarnished. They are void-woken. They can only bring chaos and death and...
There is more, but she hesitates to share it. Then she decides that she must.
I was a child when the God King tore my family apart. I was purged of Source and left to rot in a putrid tomb. A child. It was hell. A hell I suffered for the sins of my father. He was the one that betrayed the God King. He was the one that told the 7 the secrets of the veil. The cruel joke of it all is that the same tomb that housed my tortured body is what sheltered me from the void. Few Eternals escaped that fate. Myself, my mother, and Fane. Yes, Fane is my father.
What? No. It can't be. Everything Dallas did. It was all you. Child.
Everything I did to fix your mistake. Our people, every purged sorcerer, every dead magister, all those weeping families, they're on your head, Father. But now I have revenge. Revenge on the Seven and the God King. Revenge for what they took from me. My life. My people. My mother!
The hammer's voice falters and her coolness vanishes. Every crack and rasp betrays her grief. But her next words burn not with sadness.
Did you even look for me? Did you even look for her?
Dallas, control yourself. Our purpose transcends your personal wound.
Yes. You are right.
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace. Peace for Riverlong. Peace for me, whatever the means. And now
She sacrificed herself for the bet. She didn't do it willingly, mind you. Curiosity led her to the tomb. My hunger for source took care of the rest. I presume her bones remain there. And then I took her place. Face rippers are such marvels, aren't they? It didn't take long to realize that Lucian was the key to my vengeance, and I was the key to the salvation.
while Dallas sought the Aetheran, I started draining the gods of their source.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
One more word from you, and I shall use the leash.
I had to hide from the gods. So I had the walls of this crypt equipped with tenebrium and protections put in place. It worked. Everyone, even the gods, thought me dead. As divine, I was created, empowered to stop the void. I was the avatar of the Seven, their strength and their weakness. My bond to them allowed me to drain them of their source.
Yes, in a sense. When the Death Fog was unleashed, many elves died. With fewer elves to worship him, Teosindilius weakened. This gave the God King to strengthen himself. He sent his Voidwoken, the remnants of my people, to hunt down the sorcerers seeking to reclaim
The Voidwoken. Disgusting things. They ravaged the land they touched and infected the air they breathed. You see, blaming the sorcerers for Voidwoken made them easier to capture.
The Aetheran now contains almost all of the source the Seven stole. Soon, we will be able to heal.
The void shall be banished, and I, Lucian the Divine, shall return from the dead. A false divine, of course. I shall have no power. But the world will not know this. I shall demand peace, and we
The plan is almost
We have made so many sacrifices, Godwoken. All of us. Of ourselves and those we love. One last sacrifice is required. For the future of Riverlong, you must surrender your source.
Decide. Be the true hero and give up your source, or be forced to submit. Like a coward.
There is no other way. The source of the world is required to close the veil. We only lack yours.
As I say, one last sacrifice is required. Yours. We already had more than enough Godwoken.
Another sacrifice I was forced to make. Those beautiful people. I was as kind as I could be. Alexander was godwoken. Once, years ago, I should have killed Damien, but instead took him as my son. Quite the mistake. Now...
The task fell to me.
And me.
Good. You are...
The world shall not know this. I shall return from the grave, a divine without power, yet all who desire power shall fear me. I shall carry the secret of my lack of divinity, peace.
More than enough. Far more. I will suffer him to live no longer.
Ifan unsheaths his weapon. He stands by your side with every muscle tensed, like a coiled spring. Fire blazes in his eyes as he looks to you for support. Ifan nods his thanks. He turns away just as you see the emotion rising in his eyes. Then, the coiled spring snaps, and he pounces upon Lucian.
poorly, Dallas. Good. You shall not seal the veil. And now it is time. I call on the God King. Come, claim what is yours.
How? What? You are unleashed!
Friedemann cackles in delight at this turn of events. His unbridled glee slithers into your veins and throttles your heart.
You left the leashing wand next to me, you stupid maggot. So accustomed had you become to me. Kill him! Do shut up, you tedious buffoon. And don't look so surprised. As if I would allow that bone-bag Dallas to enslave me. Me?
This is not the time for talk, Hitler. Kill him, now!
Too late, you moldering, blight-stained pigs. Grant me power, my ally. God King, I call on you. You would interrupt Brachus Rex. You would interrupt the Source King. The God King hears my call. He sends a companion worthy of my power. Come to your father. Come to the Source King.
Divinity's mercy.
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded by it. Be wise and true, Godwoken. I am no hero, but wisdom and truth. These are values I always believed in.
Dallis groans in pain.
I have failed. The future of all that is rests on your shoulders.
So here we are. The end of it all. Nobody I'd rather see this whole thing through with. I trust you. I trust your judgment. I know you will. I know you will. You're the best damn friend I've ever had. Well then, let's do this.
Well then, this is, as they say. I never dreamed that after all this, I would be standing here with one of your kind, let alone that I would be proud to do so. I cannot imagine someone I would trust more with divinity, including myself.
Fane lays a bony hand on your shoulder, squeezing.
Do you know, I believe you will.
Here we stand, once more on the cusp of divinity. But this cup, so long thirsted for, I willfully let it pass from me. All my life has been a lead-up to this. To be the King of Kings, God of gods. I will not say it was in vain, but I will say it was vanity. If I were to chance upon my throne right now, I would sit down beside it, cast my glance to the horizon, and think of worthier things. I'd think of Sadha, my great love. I'd think of my children, their joyous dance through fiery sky. And of course, I'd think of you, of the adventures we had, of our unlikely, yet heartfelt friendship. Yes, I'd sit there, thoroughly contented, and wait for you to ascend the throne. I know.
A mischievous smile.
But I do have to add, likewise.
You think back on your journey here, on all that you have seen and done. You think of the Magisters, and the sorcerers they hunted, and of the good and the evil. You think of how the Eternals came as Voidwoken to reclaim their stolen. You look at the source around you. The power is immense. Divinity at your fingertips. You think of what you could do with such power. The rights you'd wronged, the wars you'd... You marvel at your journey and how it has changed you. You think of those you left behind, and of those you met along the way, who stood by you or against you. It's time to choose your fate, and the fate of all you hold dear. What shall it? Shall you be divine? After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aetheran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate and the future. What shall you do with divinity?
so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. When the dust settled, no new divine had risen. Instead, all Source was released into the world for all the people and every creature to share. Everyone was now a sorcerer. And united, the peoples of Rivellon pushed back the God King into the very depths of the void. This ushered in a new golden age of peace and prosperity. But alas, it was not to last. With many greedy for wealth, power and position, the struggle soon began anew. Source, the very language of creation, was used in violence once more. The never-ending contest for power continued. As for me, I was freed of the tyranny of the God King. To atone for my sins in this world, I spent the rest of my days taking care of the sick and elderly. I would tell the story of the Godwoken to anyone who would listen. The story of the greatest heroes Rivellon had ever known. The heroes who chose not to close the veil.
Well, look what the cat dragged in. A Godwoken. But what good is it to be Godwoken when Source is now a free-for-all, and there is no divinity to be had? Don't fool yourself. In the absence of a master will rise. King, as long as there is power, there is conflict. Source for all, it is but the dream of an idiot, who will soon wake to find his wrists in shackles. In that sense, I suppose I should look upon it all as an opportunity. People crave authority. They'll beg for a sorcerer king like me. Please, I'm not a dilettante.
He sighs, which seems to ease his
But come, we've travelled too long by one another's side. We'll not part on bad terms, will we? Home. After all, I've dragons to raise. I need to teach them to be good boys and girls before they set the entire world. There may be an accident or two along the way. I do so long to see my palace again. The Forbidden City. The scents of spices and incense. The sound of sitars and far off. To sit all day in perfumed shade. Watch the white of the marble change with the journey of the sun. Above all, I long to be with Sadha. Long to finally have the time. But remember how when we first met, I took you by the jaw to inspect your teeth? Not something one forgets in a hurry. Now, if you recall, as per your own testimony, you can cook, tailor, and groom. Three quite indispensable. At the time, of course, I couldn't have foreseen the adventure ahead, but now that it's quite over, I'd like to renew the opportunity for you to become my slave. What say you? Well, that's settled. You're very welcome to my house indeed. My boots are not going to clean themselves.
Melody stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit. I'd say you owe me. Get an eyeful. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other. I have a lot of planning to do. Now that there's not.
She drums her fingers testily on her.
All that work, all that effort, tossed into the gutter like a malformed child. You say that now. Let's see how you feel when you realize the true implication of a world. Never mind.
She fingers the mask covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it, but instead...
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. Sacrificed much. And I'd have to...
She looks you up.
I guess this will have to take a moment, why don't you? Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know. Around and about. treat myself to some mead, a level 300. Perhaps our paths will cross until we find...
The flaming hatchling bounces and cheeps.
Daddy! Daddy! Looky!
It takes you a moment to realize the egg you've been carrying has hatched at long last. The chick trills contentedly and flaps its tiny feathers in recognition of its proud parent.
Daddy!
The chicks... Beast Spirit smiles as you approach.
Here the wild beast just sails on the ocean. He's not the cupboard, can't hide you.
He pauses, then continues.
Source of all, eh? Bold move, I'll grant you that. I didn't think anyone considered the little people anymore. I don't know yet. Perhaps peace will reign and all will be equal. Or perhaps you've bestowed great power on undeserving. Time will tell. I'm sure that is the question, isn't it? How does one top the greatest feat of necromancy ever conceived? I might have the answer to that. Tell me. No, of course you wouldn't. It's a written language, unreadable to most, but myself naturally. It comes from a mysterious race from another world. Beings that feed on minds. I intend to seek them out. This Gustafjan seems to guard portals to their realm. And once I've uncovered one, well, why settle for being the greatest mind in just one?
I'm buzzing. I don't know how else to describe it. But what you did, I want to say it was brave. Maybe it was, but it wasn't right.
Gareth is still. For a moment, his mind wanders to memories of friends and enemies, of Malady and Magisters, of demons and...
The people of Rivellon will call you their savior. The power is in them, in all of them. And there will come a time when they rebel, and the price will be high. A meaningless promise. You've blessed them and cursed them with a single choice. You didn't reveal your altruism. You revealed your power will be shared among the evil and the good, the light and the dark, the sky and the earth. They will enjoy equal source light, yes, but they will not be equal. I find a way to fit. I wasn't just content to lurk in Lucian's shadow. I was his shadow. So I find out, on my own away from the storm that surely comes. The God King is defeated, but the door...
Gareth greets you. A slight grin crosses the spirit's face. Whether her... Losa smiles broadly and casts her gaze over the ship's top deck.
I feel weird. Like I've got... There is a matter I must attend to.
He taps his fingers and mouths silently while he counts, until he arrives...
1,300,000 dozen and 50 gold pieces. Oh yeah? What's that?
Han ponders your...
You got it! Everybody better watch out. Han'll get you if you come too close, but you better believe...
A world full of sorcerers. That's quite a thing. But don't worry, darling. You'll reform my ways.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you. Her mouth meets yours and devours you with predatory abandon. Somewhere in the recesses of your mind, you think you hear her voice sigh, mine. But then the kiss...
Something to remember me by, darling. Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet for Mahali and I. A roaring fire and a feather bed. But a girl needs some fun.
Fane is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia.
I see.
He glances up at you, big and...
Well, there you are.
Another fine specimen of your... A little leaner than when we first met, and a little less divine than you'd hoped, I imagine. As do I, it seems. Whatever that life might be.
Fane looks back down to the book. A bony finger.
It could have been different, you know? I could have saved them. I could have found a way. I could have done more. So, had they decided to live in peace with the mortals of Riverlong, maybe we could have saved them, but they made their choices, and I made mine. No, I imagine you can't. I imagine no one can. But the cards were dealt. Or something. I never took the time to learn how the average Riverlonian entertained themselves. Then again, you are no So, what do you think you'll do now that we live in a world of minute divines?
Fane nods.
Power in the hands of madmen is dangerous, but power in the hands of well-meaning fools? Empires have crumbled over less.
The skeleton hefts Hubert's dog-eared
I've been rereading this book, looking over your history once again, poring over every... It's shit!
Fane tosses the book over his shoulder. It flutters in the air as it sails over the ship's railing and...
If you have spent your life staring at a thing, you can write about it with knowledge. You can write about it with love. But it is almost impossible to write about it with wonder. You creatures have spent your lives trudging about this world, and you've grown blind to its miracles. Take otters, for example. Energetic, waterproof cats, utterly beautiful or octopuses. Did you know they're secretly octopuses? Octopi? Octopods? Oh, I shall have to look that. Regardless, the world is filled with absolutely incredible sights. And who better to catalogue them with the awe they deserve than someone seeing them for the first time? Do you know, there is the idea that nothing is ever truly... I suppose we are all Source, just in different forms. You being the cruder. But my people were Source too, although we didn't know it at the time. And our Source helped create you. In a way, I was walking alongside the best version of them. In you, I found a home better than the one I was pining for. Thank you, Godric.
Ifan beams at you, his blood-streaked face more jubilant than you've ever seen it.
We did it. The odds were against us. Hell, the gods were against us. And still...
He reaches out his hand to grasp yours. Source crackles between you and in the air all around you.
Now we'll see something. We'll see what happens when everyone can harness their own divinity. Me either. I knew it. From the first time I met you, I knew you were special. With a world full of sorcerers, we should be able to make short work of the Voidwoken.
Ifan nods, but his mind is elsewhere already. He looks different somehow. A vestige of command has returned to this...
We'll need supplies. Source-forged steel, war owls, a scent. What do you think?
Seeing the look on your face, he laughs and shakes his head.
Old habits die, but I'm willing to bet these Voidwoken will die.
With that, Ifan salutes you. He whistles up his soul wolf and strides off to make arrangements. Look...
Well, look who finally graced us with their presence.
No, you should be thanking me.
You're welcome. Honestly, Marcus, some creatures have no...
A huge grin slowly spreads across...
Of course, had you not stopped this God King and...
The cat moves forward, twisting around your legs and filling the air...
Ah, quackers! Please, have a look. This battle is won, my friend, but we still have a war to fight. We've undone the Great Acorn, but the Knights of Dre, they summoned the Great Acorn once. They will be able to summon it again. That is the future Quercus and I have ahead of us. We no longer... And a well-deserved... I never thought I would be proud to have befriended a giant. Ow! Crackus! I do not know what comes next for you. Come, Crackus. We must... Oh, I think you have something in your eye.
The cat curls up and snuggles into his squirrel friend.
If you gave everyone in the world an equal share of gold, do you believe all theft would cease? No, of course not.
There's nothing interesting down there. The future lies above.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. Consider me to be a gift from Malady. My wood was splintered. I feel better than new. I will always be an ally to those that carry swords. To those, I am at the ready.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. The world was at peace, at least for now. With its significance as the seat of divinity diminished, Arx fell into decline, and within 7 generations had emptied. Few were as prepared for the new world as the lizardkin of the ancient empire. With power spread equally throughout the world, the advantage lay with those who knew how to steal it, and at this the lizards excelled. Justinia returns to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven kingdom prospered, until 2 years later a jealous lover stabbed her in the heart with a mutton fork. With their power returned, the elves reclaimed their lands from the Death Fog and began to rebuild. Soon they would split as 2 factions sought power, one to bring back the trees, the other to bring back the scions. A dwarven joke did the rounds. It ends with the punchline, "So Lucian dropped the Death Fog on them again." And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more. The island of Fort Joy, the old redoubt of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort. Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood became a centre of industry, trade and transport. Lohar the dwarf became mayor. His time in office was cut short by an unfortunate wound that spontaneously appeared on his neck. Your lizard lover from the Black Bull Tavern finally returned to the ancient Lizard Empire, there to found the newest and most popular of all the houses, the House of Love. Lagan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard. In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea. You would never forget Dorothea's kiss. Dorothea herself left Driftwood for the ancient empire, ever in search of the perfect kiss. She never found it, although once or twice she came close. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Millennia later, adventurers would come in search of the legendary divine city of Arx and the crypt of the great Lucian. None would pass the path of blood. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with the rising chaos, he set out alone to find a new purpose. He would never stop seeking. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors. Almira and Mihaly settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. With the source released to the world, Ahu the Wizard spent more and more time as a cat. One day he decided he would not change back. With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. With more undead than ever before, she founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering them shelter from hatred and fear. Jehan, the demon hunter, found himself at a loose end. So he opened a museum of demonic artifacts. After it burned down, with Jehan inside, witnesses claimed that the flames were the color of blood. As the forests grew anew and the elves were equals at last, Sahala shared elven knowledge of Source with the world. But some elves disagreed and plotted against her. Chief amongst her opponents was Tova, Sahala's own mother. As Source flooded Rivellon, Fane set out to record everything he could of this new world. As he travelled, he kept a socket peeled for signs of the Eternals, hoping to find the wife he'd lost. He's still looking. With a small band of elves, Ifan Ben Mezd replanted the lost elven forests. After the first fresh shoots broke the earth, he disappeared and was never seen again. Some say Afrit, his soul wolf, walks the forests still. The Red Prince came home a hero. With Sada, he had more dragons. Soon, Prince became Emperor, one who would not use his dragons for conquest. His realm knew peace, and the world did not burn. And then there was you. You returned to the world a sorcerer among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.